Here we are in this most amazing temple that Blue Mountain and Mirayah and their family have created for us, not just for us. So Blue Mountain is very much present in this space. And as many of you know, if not all of you know, he's facing a huge health challenge right now. So we want to just bring him into this space. We'll take a little break and we'll actually have some time to love and bless and pray for him. Yeah, I know. And you want to do that now? Eli, they're going to make a big trip. Their whole family is on their way to Mexico, I believe, this week to go see if they can find the medicine and the therapy to help heal him completely. It's a big trip. It's really big for this family right now. And he's such a piece of this community as well. He built this for us. So we're gonna. You want to say something, Eli? Please.
Aloha, family. I'm so grateful to see all your faces and feel your presence in this space. Welcome in my Baba Blue. I am immensely grateful to be your son and to be of support at this time in any way I can. And I want to invite all of you who are showing up here in your presence to think about making a contribution to this space. This process of healing has really woken us up to what's most important in life. And we really want to be a resource for healing for our community. And first we start with our own family here, and we have quite a journey ahead of us, and we really could use the support. And we're planting the seeds now with that healing journey, learning everything we can so that we can open a healing center here and carry that forward for the next generations. And yeah. So we are going to be passing this hat, and beloved Mia here is going to see if there are open hearts and contributions to be made. And I'd also love to just transition here, acknowledging everything so beautiful. Thank you so much for all being here and honoring my brother Mark, and also now we're going to beam love to this amazing human here who really needs all of our healing. And I invite us in divine timing to creating a healing circle for this man where we can roll out the crystal in the center, all gather around, beam him with healing energy and love. And in all forms, however you're ready to contribute to that mission, we deeply appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here, and we feel your hearts aligned with our own. We love you, Blue.
Thanks so much. Yes, before we rearrange things, I just wanted to honor each of you for showing up. Hi, Lew. And to bring your soul presence into this container that we made, I think it's almost a dozen years ago when we're building this. And so a lot of amazing people have come through here, and you are among them. And before we move around, I just wanted to comment on this whole shift that happens when one confronts one's own mortality. Especially with Todd, I love that man, Todd, so much. And when we had this time to connect over at hospice, it just really opened my heart to another level of how much appreciation I was feeling for this man who had given so much in his life. Every Monsanto rally films and every Fantuzzi show I ever put together. One of the things that was so beautiful about it is our relationship was conflict-free. We never had any ego rubs. We basically just worked together to up-level the vibe. Should I get away from that, Mike? To up-level the vibe of whatever situation we were in. And so I want to take this opportunity. Why are we called out to honor great souls like Mark Sheehan and Todd? And just to come together, it really reminds us of what is precious in life. So I encourage us each to look at that and to recognize that it's not what your parents told you. It's like each of us needs to go inside to access our inner guidance about what we're doing here and what's meaningful, what's worth putting our energy into. And so rather than being sad for Mark's passing, he had an amazing life and inspired so many. Or for my health challenge, I intend to live through this, although I will go when my maker calls. But I encourage you to sort of use that as a springboard to go back inside and to get in touch with your own authentic calling and to vow to be loyal to that inner being and to live from that place of authenticity and to get in touch with each of us, to get in touch with our own magnificence as ineffable light beings in these body temples. And so when I thought about Todd passing and Mark, and I'm thinking about my own life, it just makes me vow to be even more who I am, more authentic. When I have these thoughts come up, I'm just going to say them, man. I just want to share from that, from that authentic place. And I think it's we're all invited. When you look around this room, so many of us have known each other for 20 or more years, and there's so much mutual aloha, mutual appreciation. And part of it is we left behind the conditioning that we grew up with in our hometown, where we were birds of a different feather that never quite fit in. And we came to Maui with our eyes all starry, like Maui is going to be the place. And the Aina here is indeed extraordinary. But even more so is this community. Such diverse people. I'm sure every state and many countries are represented in this circle. And yet, it feels like the Aloha spirit is the great unifier. We leave behind our stories of the past, and we encounter each other in these authentic moments of soul connection. And that's where the juice is. And I realized, when I was seeing, I got a cancer that has a bad prognosis. It's like, what is precious is my relationships with people. And the love and the mutual regard and seeing one another and being seen. And so I just encourage us each in our day-to-day life, in these chance encounters to pause and drop in a little bit deeper. Everyone is willing to go deeper if you sort of invite them. If you want to talk about the weather, you may stay there. But I've been finding that, just sort of cutting to the chase or changing the subject and going for the thing that's sort of unspoken, that's the elephant in the room, I'm finding that quite gratifying because it sparks something in the other person and they can share more deeply. And for all the feedback I've been getting, oh my God, I've had this outpouring of positive affirmations about how wonderful I am. And it is medicine. It's medicine for me. because I got picked on in junior high, and even I always hung out with older kids, so I was one of the younger kids that wasn't driving yet. And the neighborhood, Friday we'd shoot hoops in my driveway. Everyone would go home for dinner, and the plan was Chuck Singer, who was older, who had the car, would come around, pick everybody up. We'd go buy some cases of beer and go drink beer in the woods. Well, Chuck had this sort of mean streak, and he would leave me out. Well, I'm not feeling sorry for myself now.
Lew got LO'd.
Right, they even had a term for it. And, this is before cell phones, so I'm calling Ronnie Karp, like, hey, is Chuck coming? Oh, Ronnie left 20 minutes. Dave, oh yeah, he's picked up. And it was just to kind of hurt me. They would leave me out, right? And then the joke was, Lew got LO'd again, left out. And the irony is, I've somehow created a life of hosting giant circles of amazing living. It's what we all want. We all want to be seen and included and appreciated. And it's not that difficult to give that to people when we encounter each other, especially if we pay attention to using our words to uplift and to encourage desired outcomes. And I'm just making it a practice to, see the goodness in people and comment on, their shirt or whatever it is, just to kind of uplift the energy. And that sense of being seen is something that's really touched me with all the feedback that's been pouring in. And, I'm thinking about one text from my friend Una. She just described me in a way that felt like she got me, she saw me. And that's what pulled my tears, to be witnessed accurately, or at least some part of me, to be validated and to be seen and appreciated. And that's medicine that we all have for one another. And so I just encourage us to, even though there's sadness and loss and fear and grief, all those feelings are there too, to recognize the power that we each have to uplift the energy and to connect and to affirm the goodness in one another. And so for that, I appreciate you all turning up here, and I know many of you may have other places to go. We're going to shift, and I'm going to get in the center, and maybe we're going to bring out the big powwow drum, or we'll get some Sufi dancing, however it unfolds. But I do want to honor and appreciate each of you. Of course, Eli, you are my special one. And Gabriel. And of course, Mirayah de la Mare, will you just come up here and join us, please? Come on, Maru. And of course, there's no reflection on Gabriel saying that Eli is my special one. Oh, that guy. You're special too. And there's something very satisfying, I have to say, to see this room full of all these great people, and to go think back. Yes, here's Mirayah de la Mare, the mom of our two boys, my wife of 37 years. Wow. That tells you something. That tells you how patient of a man I am. And what a great soul you are. Thank you. Oh, right. So just to see everybody accommodated here comfortably and see all the folks out on the deck and realize that this space has hosted some beautiful Sufi events and Anam Tubdin and all kinds of medicine journeys. But what's really satisfying is it's a seed planted that is growing, and there will be more to come. And even after I drop this body, this building, I think, will continue And this center will continue to be a place where people can gather for community celebrations and for healing moments and for expanded awareness and spiritual teachings. So that to me feels really satisfying to see you all here. And just one last reminder, I want to encourage you, each of you in your day-to-day interactions, to remember the power that you have by seeing the best and commenting on it. And inviting that person to let their unique cartoon self out of the bag even more. I mean, I think that's what happens when we come to Maui. We all kind of get to be exaggerated caricatures of ourselves because we have permission. There's no rules about what kind of clothes you got to wear, whether your hair is short or long. And so basically, one of the aspects of Aloha spirit here is that we are invited to be ourselves together and to celebrate each unique little munchkin's contribution to the stew. We're all co-creating this stew with our own energy and our own spice being added. And, as I look around, I just know everybody's backstory and times we've shared and who fixed my floor and, all these, stories that inform us to this moment. In a way, the stories of the past don't matter that much. Really what matters is the juiciness and the sweetness of our connections in this present moment. Unlike back east, everyone wants to ask you what school you went to or what you do for a living. We don't even bother with that here. It's more of just falling in love through the eye contact. So I encourage us to affirm the goodness in one another, and to be patient, and to maybe not focus on the things that annoy us or bug us about one another, but to put our binoculars on what we appreciate and what we value in one another. And to feel that we are each magnificent beings that can make a difference just by walking into a room. So that's my message to you all. Thank you so much for coming out.
Hey, while we're all here, while we're all here right now, this is a really hard walk. And maybe you've had this experience waiting for the next test result and taking the next test and deciding what to do. This is a really hard walk for them. They might not tell you that. They might. So we're sitting here right now. I want you to hold your hands up, all of you. And I want you to ask God right now to bring a blessing, a prayer, a healing through your eyes, through your breath, through your smiles, and through your hands right now. Take a few moments, just shine on them and bless them and feel your love and support. And we do see them.
I feel it. I feel the weather support. web of the Maui family is so precious. Seeing each other's kids grow up even. It's amazing. So thank you for each being a beacon of love light as you walk in this world. For seeing me in the best physical balance. Don't think of me as sick or having cancer. I don't like that so much. But how about facing a health challenge that I am transcending?
Okay, now, amen.